Live from our studios on Qsol Avenue. Good evening, viewers, from wherever you're watching us from. I am Jewel Denjai. This is yet another interesting edition of the Youth Dialogue. And last week we were here with the president, the newly elected president of the University of the Gambia Students Union, Mr. Ismaila Fadera, and we have a lovely conversation. And this week, as I promised, every week is a different guest and, different thing. And this week we are going to focus on the creative industry. We are going to focus on, the medical industry. We are going to focus on the fashion industry. Interesting, right? Three things in one. Yeah, so I have with me Dr. Abdoul Karim Faye, who is an artist, sculptor, creative visionary, and the winner of Mr. Gambia 2026. So we're going to explore the human stories behind the art, the discipline, and of course, the title and the passion driving his creative journey. Mr. Gambia, no, Dr. Abdoul Karim Faye. Doctor, how are you?
I am well, thank you.
Thank you for honoring my invitation.
Thank you so much for having me.
That's a lot, right? Because you are a doctor, you are a creative artist, you are a fashionista. How do you do it?
I think it's by the grace of God.
It's by the grace of God.
Because for the most part, all these things come really natural to me. Medicine is a passion. It's something that I've always wanted. I mean, I used to want to be an architect, right? But then that changed along the way. But then when I started medical school, I fell in love with it. And as of now, it's something that I really, really love doing. Art is something I learned along the way. I'm a self-taught pencil artist.
Okay.
Like I was mentioning, I literally learned this on YouTube, watching other people do it and then do it myself. And fashion, I don't even know how I got into fashion, to be honest. I think it was more so curiosity. I saw something that I felt like I could do, and I was like, okay, let's just give it a try and see. And it worked out really well, alhamdulillah.
Okay, now I am surprised. Okay, you wanted to be an architect.
Yes, I did.
And then, down the line, you change and like, okay, I think let me go in the medical field.
Yes.
And you are there, before you know it, you are a creative, you find yourself in the creative industry.
Yes.
And then boom, fashionista.
I mean, if you put it like that.
This is so interesting. But tell us, who is Abdoul Karim? For those of us who, because we're like, this is also confusing, but it's also fascinating at the same time.
Right.
You're a young person, you're able to do all of these things, and looking at, the artwork, it's really successful.
Yeah.
Really. So who is Abdoul Karim? Dr. Abdoul Karim.
Right, so like you have mentioned, now we start with the title, because 7 years was absolutely difficult. So now we start with the title. Like you mentioned, I'm Dr. Abdoul Karim Faye, newly inducted medical doctor. The last batch that finished University of the Gambia Medical School. I am a health advocate for the most part. I usually advocate mostly for sexual reproductive health, especially for women. Because in my 7 years of medical school, I noticed that there are lots of topics that people talk about. Diabetes, hypertension, a lot of those things. But sexual reproductive health is something that is really neglected for the most part because of the fact that it is a taboo in this country. So I like to touch on things that most people wouldn't like to talk about. And alhamdulillah, it has actually been going well. Because as of now, we have a podcast that we are doing. We talk about these topics on a regular, and it's also making waves as well. And we've done so many outreaches, schools, communities, and that's something that I really love. On top of that, I'm an artist. Self-taught, like I mentioned, and it's something that I also really love doing because it's something that helped me in my medical school. Because if you notice my notes as opposed to other people, it's just filled with drawings, just sketches of different things. So for the most part, my classmates will tell you, if you want to have simplified notes, just go to Karim's notes. Because at the end of the day, it's not many words, it's just sketches and illustrations with different labels. And I'm 25 years old, by the way. And
yeah. You're young.
I am.
why it's young. Gen Z.
I think because
or
of
the
my
Jambi
height.
babies.
I think because of my height, if I mention my age for the most part, people are usually shocked. But yeah.
Oh, okay. That's lovely. But you touched on something very, very important, and
Right.
it's something that I'm really passionate about, which is
Right.
sexual and reproductive health.
Right.
I feel like it's something that it's like a taboo. People don't really talk about it that much.
Right.
Even women who are suffering, they hardly come out to say, okay, this is what I'm going through. What are some of the issues that prompted you to actually be an advocate for sexual and reproductive health? What triggered?
All right. So Alhamdulillah, I have a lot of people that find it very easy to open up to me. I have a lot of friends because I'm very jovial for the most part. I'm always joking around with everybody. So this opened a lot of room for people to come and ask me certain questions. I noticed over the years that a lot of people would come to me with actual important, serious issues that have to do with their health. But then they would rather just say it to me and keep it in my chats than actually go to the hospital to seek help. And even if you're saying it to me, you would notice how much time it's going to take for them to open up about these things. And there are things to your come, eventually it's something that has to do with your health. And I noticed that there's a big gap in this regard because even the doctors amongst ourselves, you will see a lot of people advocating for a lot of stuff, but nobody wants to talk about sexual reproductive health. Nobody wants to talk about menstruation, especially from a man, right? So I realized that there's a stigma to be broken. For the most part, if a person is talking about it, it's usually a female or a woman. I wanted to change that as well, to make it known that just because you're a male or just because you're a man does not mean that this is a topic that you should not touch on.
True.
So if I'm the one teaching it to you, at least that breaks one in itself. And the other one is the fact that I have a lot of people that actually do need these things, like I mentioned. So instead of helping them individually on the low, why not just spread it out there? Whomsoever it may concern would also benefit from it, whether they want to ask about it or not. So yeah, that's it.
So you mentioned that you wanted to be an architect.
Yes.
Which is lucrative too.
Yeah.
You know, you have big men who are there and they have big monies. So what changed along the line?
So after high school, we were discussing options with my dad. So around that time, it was like around 2017, 2018. So the only place for architecture was at GTTI, right? And I wanted a bachelor's degree. I don't think they were offering it by then. So the next best option as a science student was either nursing or medicine. So I was like, well, if I'm going to go for one, I might as well be a doctor.
Yeah.
But then I did it just for the sake of it, honestly. Did my pre-medicals, did biomedicals. But when I started learning about the human body, especially in the second year, which is biomedicals, I started getting more and more curious because
exactly.
Right? So the more you learn, the more you want to know, and you'd just be shocked that this is how things actually work. So I just kept getting more and more engulfed in it. And now I don't see myself doing anything else, to be honest.
Oh, and I'm so happy that we have someone like you that, you know, women can have a safe space to actually talk about some of these things, because you have a lot of, sometimes they call it trends, you know, where women use all these substances, chemicals, you know, all in the name of, you know, satisfying the other gender or ensuring that you look attractive to the next gender. But whilst you're doing that, you're also harming yourself. So I think there needs to be a lot of advocacy around this thing, sexual and reproductive health, and not just for women, but men should be interested in these topics as well, because, you know, men, we are your sisters, we're your wives, you know, we're your cousins. So I mean, it interests all of us. So, but it's really a challenge. So how has it been when you like decided to focus on sexual and reproductive health, especially your family, like Abdoul, Karim, you know, like me. I
mean, I'm from a very supportive family, alhamdulillah, right? So when they see me on platforms, they shock, okay? I think for the most part, the most stigma that I've got is mainly from men. Right? Because then they say, okay, yo, gurna, why are you talking about this? Right? Or yo, you talk about this so much, is it because you're interested in females? You know? So they keep trying to rope it in such negative lights as best as they can. But then those things don't deter me. And it still goes back to the same thing that I keep explaining, that there's such a stigma and such a taboo around the topic that even the thought of it or even a conversation about it, whether medical, no matter how helpful that it's supposed to be, you would still have people that would try to sexualize it or people that would make it sound like something that is very immodest or immoral or things like that. But what I keep saying is learning about your health can never be wrong, right? Talking about your own health as well to a doctor, to a nurse, or anybody that's a health practitioner should not be shameful. At the end of the day, you are the reasons why we are working. You're the reasons why we're in the hospital in the first place. And for the most part, after you tell me what you've told me, I would forget about you. I see like hundreds of patients in a day. So I can't remember you. So if that gives you any peace or any help, sure, I will not remember you. You would meet patients in the streets and they will say, yeah, I'm off a journal. Like,
I can't remember. Come journalists, right? You meet people, interview them, and the next minute you forget about it.
Exactly.
Right?
It's just a
interview
job.
and we interact. I was like, oh, okay. So yeah, that is what humanitarian service does.
Right.
So during your interaction with some of these women, what are some of the most peculiar issues that women in the Gambia are confronted with in terms of their sexual and reproductive health? What are some of the issues?
Right. So as far as my own interactions are concerned, the majority of it is usually vulvovaginal infections, like yeast infections, right? Mandinkas call it seketu, Wolofs call it sochet, right? It's very common, right? But like I said, sexual reproductive health, they would rather sit with the discomfort than actually come to a hospital to talk about it. You will see patients that would literally come all the way to the hospital, but because they were met or seen by a male doctor, they will tell you, right? Or and they will not tell you exactly what it is. So at least with those people, I try to urge them to at least, at the end of the day, your health should come first. After that, from the men, so many sexually transmitted infections. STIs. A lot. Again, you will not want to go to a hospital to tell the doctor that I am having difficulty urinating. So you would rather tell a friend that is a medical doctor or that is going to medical school. So it's those kinds of things. But apart from that, every other thing in the book, problems with menstruation, that must keep some period by 3 months, those kinds of things. But topics that are not even as, that are not supposed to be as shameful as they are made to be. And all that is because of societal stigma, yet again. And that's the importance of having these kinds of conversations, because the more you talk about it, especially on live TV, you will see that, maybe it's not so bad.
Not so bad. It's not so bad, my girls and ladies, please, it's not so bad, because your health should be your #1 priority. And then the person that you are going to, it's a trained medical specialist, is an expert in that area. So they cannot, another person, me, if you tell me, all I can do is to sympathize with you. Oh, I'm sorry, or go and get medical attention. But aside from that, we can't do much about it. So in terms of the seketo and the yeast infection that you're talking about, in your own perspective as a medical practitioner, what do you think are the causes of this?
So yeast infections are things that we say to women that it will happen to you at least once in your life. You can't run away from it. Right? Okay. At least once in your life, you would have it, right? For the most part, we say, we can go deeper into it if you want. Yeah. Sure, okay.
Anything for my ladies.
So the normal female body, it was designed perfectly by God, alhamdulillah, right? It has a certain environment. In school, we learn about acids and bases, right? Okay. So the vagina was made in such a way that it can literally clear out infections on its own. Right? Okay. If you put anything in there that's not supposed to be there, it does in its own effort to try to remove it on its own, right? Microorganisms and things like that. And this is possible because there's a certain bacteria that lives there, right? Good bacteria, right? We live right now everywhere that we are, anywhere you turn, there's bacteria, there's other microorganisms. So we have something we call symbiosis. The bacteria would do something for you and you would feed it in return, right? Okay. You give and take, okay? So we give it food and it would create like a sort of acid that helps to destroy any other bacteria that's in the vagina. Okay. So if you notice it, the clear representation of the acid is when you notice, let's say you're wearing a black underwear, for example.
Yeah.
You wear it for a while, you will notice that it's starting to bleach, like the color is starting to change.
Yeah.
That is because of the fact that the pH of the vagina is acidic.
Okay.
Right?
And that is
fact.
harmful.
It's normal.
Oh, that's
normal. What it is
normal.
supposed to be. Normal.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So it does not mean there's anything wrong with
Yeah.
you. So that acidic condition or environment is what makes it very difficult for other microorganisms to actually survive there. Okay? So if you do anything that would tamper with this condition or that would tamper with this environment, then you're creating room for infections. So anything can be a plethora of reasons. So people that do things like douching, for example, because you feel like the vagina is not clean, you want to clean it yourself. So you take those shower heads and then you wash all the way in. You just wash everything out. So what you're doing, fine, you have removed the discharge, which is supposed to be protecting you. Next, you're also removing all the good bacteria. So if you do that, now you're left vulnerable.
Prone to infections.
So now you're prone to infections. And in the same place, there's yeast there as well, which is called a fungi. It is just waiting for an opportunity for it to start growing and infect you. That fungi is what causes the secretome. So if you do anything that would tamper with the pH, then you can give yourself yeast infections.
Because there is so many myths around this yeast infection called secretome. Sometimes you see women will tell you, okay, boil warm water and sit on it, do all kinds of stuff, you know, with it. But again, sometimes it's so embarrassing that wherever you are, you're just itching.
Yes.
And the people like, okay, put Dettol and all of that. Come on, you hear all these stories, especially Dettol. It's so common that, okay, put Dettol, it will be fine. So what does that do?
So, like I said, if you introduce anything into the vagina that is not supposed to be there, and
aside from water,
even water should not go all the way inside. If you're going to wash it, wash the outside. Okay. So mind you, I said you use water, wash all the way inside. You wash out everything. Now you have left yourself prone to an infection, right? So you should allow it, let it be. Okay. Then you should know your normal self. You should know what the normal discharge you usually have at the beginning of your cycle, in the middle of your cycle, and around the end. You're seeing your cycle almost every month, I'm hoping. And you're like, you've seen it for the past 5 years, 10 years. You should at least be able to notice what is the normal for you, right? If those things change, you notice any abnormal smell or anything like that, especially after sexual intercourse, then you can be, you know, alert that maybe I'm having an infection. But rule of thumb, don't tamper with it, okay? Don't put any soap inside. Don't take any of these yoni products that they give you to clean it, to give you all these fruity smells and things like that. It's not supposed to smell like a fruit. That's not what it was meant to do. All right?
It's crazy that my gender. Well, the advocacy continues. We should have this kind of conversations because a lot of these girls now, especially with social media, and you have all these people making different products, all in the name of looking good, smelling good, and all of that. But come on, whilst you're doing that, you're creating more harm or doing more harm to your body than good.
So what I keep saying about that is the fact that, you know, these vendors, they capitalize on women's insecurities.
Exactly.
Right? So let's say you mentioned you're married, right? You're probably in a polygamous marriage. You are trying to stand out, right? You're trying to be, wow, Kimo, Monica Waja. And then for whatever reason, maybe your husband made a remark once about the fact that they don't like the way you are smelling or anything like that. And then you have somebody advertising online that they can help you to change the smell to something more, you know, more pleasant. You would definitely run to it because for the most part, you're desperate. Those people formulating those products, they know, for the most part, they don't even know what they're doing. They don't have any chemistry knowledge. They do not have any degree from it or any of those things. They just combining things and selling it to you, or ordering things and selling it to you, which is even worse because you don't even know what those people put in it in the first place. So they capitalize on people's insecurities, and I think that is also something else to talk about.
And there needs to be regulations too. Not every Tom, Dick and Harry can just come sit at my own corner, then manufacture products and say, okay, I'm an expert. And then the problem that we have here that I observed, the moment you are so popular on social media, people tend to trust you so much.
Honestly, Gambia'S are so trusting.
50,000 followers, I feel like, okay, I'm a pro in this game. I don't get it, even with skincare products. It's so crazy. But again, you're saying that nothing should go in.
Yes.
But medically, are we advised to drink something like medications to help?
To help with what exactly?
With the yeast infection, with the smell,
All right.
and
So
all
if
that.
you do eventually have a yeast infection because you probably did something,
Yeah.
whether you realized it or not, because it could be something as simple as wearing a nylon panty, right? Right. So because it's supposed to be able to breathe, it's just supposed to be able to have air.
Yeah.
So if you're not wearing anything cotton, it's going to be really hot, and all that warmth and all that can trigger.
So nylon is a no-go area.
It's a no-no.
It's a no-no.
You either don't wear it or you wear something cotton.
Cotton.
Okay, so it could be something as simple as that. It does not mean you're sexually active. It does not mean that you're a dirty person. It does not mean anything. For the most part, we will probably not even know what caused it. Okay, but if you do have it, don't try any of those home remedies. As far as you know, you don't know what it is. It could be a yeast infection. It could be a bacterial infection. It could be a sexually transmitted infection. It could be anything. Come to the hospital, see a gynecologist, and then they would advise you on what to do. If you're supposed to take medications for it, fine. If you're going to take any creams, fine. But then whatever the doctor advises, you go ahead.
You go ahead with that.
Right.
Interesting. I should bring you more often to talk about these things. Really, I feel like, okay, these things, a lot of women are going through a lot. You know, sometimes they call, I need this help, I'm going through this, but we can't do anything. We're just journalists. We're just there to sensitize people and tell them and bring in the right people to help sensitize and advocate, especially with the regulatory frameworks. They should be in place. We should have a regulatory framework where, like, we don't allow every Tom, Dick and Harry just to come and be manufacturing all those things and giving it to women. We're creating more harm than good. So now, moving on. 7 years is not 7 days there.
Wallahi.
I know people wants to be doctors. My son will be telling me, Mommy, I want to be a doctor. We're like, it's so easy like that. So what does it take to be a doctor?
It takes dedication.
Okay.
Firstly, you should love it. Honestly, because if you're doing it for anybody else, or you're doing it because you're forced, or you're doing it for any other reason apart from the fact that you like what you're doing, you're going to have a very difficult time because it's very demanding.
Yeah.
Right? It will take away from your social life. You will not be able to socialize as much. It would take away from your friendships because you will not have much time to be there with them or for them as much as you used to. It takes a lot of hard work. It takes sleepless nights of studying, right? And I know that as I'm mentioning these things, my classmates are looking at me like, Karim, boy, Karim, you start studying very
study but LMD.
But people
don't have LMD.
No, hanga ni shine kuny bena.
Yeah.
Right? Man, I can do a lot of things at the same time. Right? I don't necessarily have to sit bena plus so be goody.
Yeah.
Just put come alhamdulillah. So Mota, it gives me the room to be able to do this, to be able to model, to be able to do pageantry, to be able to do whatever else I want to do, along with medicine. I mean, is it challenging? Yes, it is. But because I have so much love for it, I literally enjoy it. So I think that's also one thing that made it a lot
like
easier.
passion. When people are going for something, make sure you're passionate about it, because everything else is challenging.
Right.
You know, whether you're in medicine, whether you're a fashionista, creative industry, whether you're an agriculturist, whether you're a journalist, whatsoever, you have challenges here and there.
Right.
But again, it's the passion that keeps you there. So I think that is very important. I'm glad that you mentioned that. Yeah. So now moving on. Liham Nasma viewers, they are so curious. Like, what is that? I was like, what is that?
Yeah.
How did this come about?
So I made these portraits for an exhibition. It was sometime last year. I was trying to depict something that we are losing a bit in Africa. I'm not for it, but at least that's part of our heritage. And that's the art of scarifications, right? And how we usually see it as a rite of passage, or any of those things. So it's a complete storyline showing a child from the time she had nothing on her face, no scars, nothing.
Yeah.
And to when she started growing a bit and she actually got her scars, to when she is now grown enough to actually, you know, have somebody else go ham come eventually also be scarred. Like a rite of passage that moves from generation to generation. Yeah.
So how did it happen? No Kodefe, did you go to school? Because I know learning to be a doctor for 7 years, that alone is frustrating.
Right.
So how did it happen?
Art? See, this happened during COVID.
COVID?
During COVID. So I think the time that TikTok was really...
You finally got something good out of COVID.
The time that TikTok was really, you know, was really a thing. People were making TikToks and all. I've always loved drawing. I've always been really interested in art classes.
Okay.
Right? You know, drawing birds and all that. But it was never as amazing. Okay, but I've always loved it. So during COVID, we had a lot of home time. So I used to watch a lot of YouTube videos. Then I would recreate what I saw. So they would draw an eye, I would draw an eye. They would draw a nose, and I would draw a nose. And then eventually I joined all of them and now knew how to draw an eye and a nose. And it kept going like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So YouTube.
Yeah.
Wow. So did you go to any school at all aside from YouTube classes?
There are no art schools.
Your art.
There are no art schools here. It's just digger fit rek jël natali jàmbur nga ne ko ba ma sketch la jox la.
And then that's it.
Yeah. And I think it's really fun, the fact that you would start something, because if you see the way it begins, it's a really big trust the process kind of work. So seeing it transform from that beginning sketch to what the outcome usually looks like is something that I even look forward to as the artist. So I'm not certain almost all the time, I'm not certain what it's going to look like. So I'm also looking forward to that as well. So I keep going and keep going and keep going.
And you don't know where it ends.
Right.
Ooh, okay. So inspiration be always nakala. Do you just sit down like, are you inspired by anything around your surrounding? Or then they just draw, come wherever your hands takes you and that is where you land?
No, Purman, it's mainly a mood. I have a lot of clients that reach out to me to make portraits for them. Okay. I've been doing this for the past 4 years now, right? So let's say you have a birthday or you have an anniversary or you have a parent that you want to gift something, those kinds of things. So I have a lot of clients that reach out for those things. So I do those. But one thing that they can attest to is the fact that I keep mentioning the fact, Nikom, fine, lala gumoko, but it's because honestly the mood is not there, right? Because if I feel like it's an obligation to you because you're my face halis and you have an expectation.
Yeah.
And I don't want to give you anything short of the best. Right? So it's usually a mood, honestly. Comes my suba but diga no.
Madam medical
I didn't make a doctor take.
Abdoul Karim, you're so interesting. But come on, like this is really, really creative. And seeing a young person like you to being able to multitask and doing all of these things, it shows that the future is really bright for young people. And if they're given the space and the environment, they can really thrive and then do great stuff. So, Bodefeli, I know it's you watch it on YouTube and all of that, but it's expensive, the materials and all of that. For the fact that it's not so common, artwork, it's not so common in the Gambia here. Legally, gradually you see all these youngsters like even Martha doing sculptures and all that. How were you able to do that, to settle that, okay, now I think this is for me. It's part and parcel of who I am.
Right.
How were you able to do that?
So from the time I started sketching, like I said, during the COVID time, I was just drawing and drawing. So I experimented on drawing a friend, right? So I just sketched a picture for free. So I just sketched a picture and then I sent it to them, and they loved it. Looking back at those pictures now, it's really funny because the levels are not the same. But yeah, they loved it. And the person posted it, and then I posted it as well. And a lot of people wanted it, right? So I felt like I have a long way to go, but people really love it. So I kept doing it. So I guess that was like a really big boost for me because the reception, how it was actually taken by other people. because I felt like I was not doing much. It just took me 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and everybody is wowed.
Yeah.
So what if I can actually do better? How would it be? So I kept on challenging myself, adding more detail, more and more detail. And I still feel like there's a long way to go from this.
Huh. Okay. So the materials, what are some of the materials that you use?
Right. So
the detailing and
everything. Having materials here is difficult.
It is.
We don't have many art stores. Recently, there's one at the Tropics, but there's not many material for pencil artworks, right? There's a bit of charcoal, but then there's a lot of materials that we actually do use that are not available here. What helped in my case is I have a few friends that are abroad, and my dad also traveled at some point. So when he left, I used the opportunity, wrote list. I got dad, wow, bala marek, bimonke, so So I was managing those for a while. Then I also had other artist friends that also traveled. They had the opportunity to travel, so they know the fact that we don't have these materials here. So those people also helped. So the materials that I've gathered, Digante 2021, 2022, those are the ones that I'm still nyimalantuing because so it's really difficult. But then, alhamdulillah, we're trying.
And the demand is high.
The demand is actually high, because just look at that.
Amazing.
Exactly. So the demand is actually high. A lot of people do want it, and again, it makes a very beautiful gift, because it's one thing to it's another thing for you to feel the effort of somebody else being put into an artwork and given to you.
Wow. So now, what advice would you give to young people out there who wants to venture into this and they don't know where to start? Because like you mentioned, I'm in school way.
Right.
I think the Arts Academy, they're really trying in that end, but it's not up to that level. So we don't have what it takes to actually get people to go and learn some of these things.
Right.
So what do you do? What advice would you give to young people who wants to venture?
I have a lot of people that text me to mentor them, right?
Okay.
See, you're an artist. You have a certain level that you're at the moment, but then you've seen men on TikTok or you've seen it on Instagram, and you're like, how do you do this, right? So they're usually very surprised when they reach out and I respond, right? Because these are things that are really important to me, because I really wish I had someone that would be able to, give me shortcuts to how to get to the destination. Because I had to take the hard route, like the entire way. Learn from drawing an eye to a nose to lips to everything. So the thing is, you just keep going. As far as you love what you're doing, just keep going. Again, I learned this in 5 years to 6 years. So it took me time to get here. So you have to trust the process. If you're in a hurry, for the most part, it will cause more delay for you anyway. And another thing, people that are actually really good have reached out to me, but then they struggle with adding value to their artworks, right? Again, let's say I draw something and then I give it to you, and I'm like, nice, na de nyatala, manela 3,000, and I'm 3,000. Of a share, you only 400, sir, and then you're tempted to sell it, right? I know it's difficult because, like you mentioned, the art scene in this country is still growing, right? But this is something that has so much value that you can't literally put any price tag on it. So you should know that as an artist. You're the one making it. You know how much time and effort you put in it. You know how much emotion you've put in it. You know the meanings behind it, right? Don't sell yourself too short. I'm not saying be overly pricey, right? But if you feel like that's what your time is worth, stick to it.
Stick to it. Standard. It is very important. I just know, okay, one tier. Sometimes we just have products and all of that. It's been there for ages and no one is buying them. And we're like, let me harama one tier correct. Harama one. So it loses the value. And you see all these brands, the reason why people are still running to them, no matter how expensive they are, it's because they have the standard. There is standard. The moment you it's 10,000, it's 10,000. So I think that is very important.
Yeah.
So man tamit dina ñëw. So are there plans? Xam naa ne time be and all of that, you know, to maybe school or an academy or something to mentor people, help people,
Right.
you know, to actually boost the art industry and the creative industry forward. Gambia should be able to compete internationally on run prices. I mean, look at that.
So currently, xam naa ne comme xam naa bari naa lu ma dee def nag. But the priority is medicine. The priority is medicine. And as soo nekkee di liggéey in the hospital, for the most part, you don't have too much time, right? But what I can do in my little capacity is we have a group chat. We have group chats,
Okay.
right, for where various artists are. When you would send your portrait, ask for criticism. You get constructive criticism. People like me, I would tell you, diga na ki buta mi emun so triangle, you know, in a very jovial and nice way. But then at the end of the day, we all learn from each other. I would post a drawing and they would tell me, okay, I think you made a mistake here. Maybe you should fix it here. And then we'll just grow together. Hopefully, these there's Gambia'S, there's Art Lovers. Those are the two main ones that I'm in. And they have a lot of artists as well. Amazing people, right? And I believe if we keep this up and we keep supporting ourselves and we keep these kinds of groups together, I think eventually we should be able to have a support system for other artists and something more meaningful for everybody.
So for young people there, if you want to invest, this is the perfect opportunity. They don't have the money.
Right.
Oh no, they don't have what it takes to draw.
Right.
But they have the financial muscle to get all these materials in the country.
Yeah.
I think that would be really...
It would be a very lucrative business because there's a lot of artists, right? The problem is we can't find the materials. Sometimes you go all the way to Senegal, but you still can't find it.
Okay.
Right? The closest place that I know that people actually can buy these things is Nigeria, right?
Oh.
So it's a problem because now you have to order it. Now the cargo that you're going to pay is going to be more expensive than the pencil that you bought. So it doesn't make sense. So if you have someone that will sell it,
pencil, Mom, it's different from this normal pencil.
It's different. I use charcoal to draw.
Charcoal.
Charcoal
How?
pencils. Charcoal pencils. I mean, it's charcoal. Kidding la. But
Wow.
then
Kidding la. Lola bukan now.
so they get compress. Bem thick. Get do a pencil ni. So it's a lot darker than the usual pencil that we see. So back ahead, come to mule.
Exactly.
It's a certain pencil.
So pencil, renga they use.
Yeah. The
colors?
I try with paint. But
Paint,
I'm not too comfortable with it yet. But it's a work in progress. But this is what I'm more interested in. Charcoal hyperrealism.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. Legi, Fashion Gambia. Now let us move to Fashion Gambia. You are the winner of Mr. Gambia 2026.
Yes.
Tell us about the fashion industry. I mean, no faduge. Medicine, nga am career, nga def li, nga ne de pare uma de. Abdoul Karim, I feel like we are still not done.
There's more.
There is more.
There's more.
I know the Sofinyo Wate will like, Jewel, I'm into something else.
Legi napakat la.
High five. Napa bobu nonu. I think young people should really venture in there because the River Gambia it's underutilized, really. I feel like, yeah.
So, fashion. So let's start it in 2023. Hanga UTG, get something called Face of UTG. It's a pageantry industry.
Yes.
It's a pageantry competition. So mostly medical school, I'm representatives because everybody's acting all serious. I'm a doctor, so I'm a. So that year, everybody was like, Karim, yo, mom, you're all over. So you're everywhere. You're on the internet. You have confidence. You can talk and all that. I think you should go. I was like, I don't know. This is not. I don't know if it is in my comfort zone.
Yeah.
But then I saw it as a fear. I saw it as a weakness.
Okay.
And I'm the type of person that likes to challenge myself, and that's the reason why I do a lot of things.
Yeah.
Right. Fum yombe dal buguma. Right? So I was like, okay, so what could go wrong, right? Because what are we looking for? Again, there's culture, so you're going to showcase your culture. They want to see how outspoken you are. They want to see if you're advocating for something, and then how much it is important to you and how you can sell it, what projects you want to do after that, and all those things. And I believed they're all qualities that I had at the time. So I was like, let me just go for it. So I went for it. and worn it. I was like, Cornelia.
Picture viration.
So I did that.
Yeah.
And then after that, Faye my Duga lab med and all that.
Yeah.
So medical school was really hectic. So I didn't have time for anything else. So I went back. Like I said, medicine is the focus. Is the most important thing. So after medical school, immediately after medical school, we had a bit of time, a few months to wait for deaf induction and all that stuff. So I guess Mr. Gambia fly. I was like, okay. So I went there and I was like, well, this is something that I've always wanted to do since it is the pinnacle of it.
Yeah.
Visa VTG is there, but then Mr. Gambia is like the highest. Like I said, I'm an overachiever. I want to achieve as much as I can. So I was like, okay, let me go to the biggest stage, hopefully win it, and then I can call it a day.
Okay.
So I did just that. So we competed for Mr. Gambia, and then alhamdulillah, I turned out the winner.
Just like that?
It was not just like that. There was a lot of hard work that was put into it.
Okay, tell us about the hard work. Because now I'm tempted. Because now explaining me, I'm like, okay, my next one, we didn't join.
There was a lot of hard work that was put into it. For Mr. Gambia alone, we had like a whole month of rehearsals every day. And I had my talent to work on to showcase something. So I had a portrait to draw upside down. So it's one thing to draw it like that. So like I said, I like challenges.
Yeah.
So on stage, I drew something upside down and then I turned it, right?
What was that?
I was advocating for breast cancer.
Breast cancer.
And it's one thing that I kept advocating for since Face of UTG and all that. Done so many researches and all that.
Yeah.
So I was advocating for breast cancer. So I drew a woman upside down with some wounds or things like that on the breast to showcase a cancerous breast. Yeah. And after that as well, we did a lot of stuff because all my creative outfits, I made them myself and my best friend Aji.
Like all the things that you
all
wore?
The things that all of them.
Mohammed, please show us the outfits because detailing be,
Right.
you know, the hat.
Cultural outfit. Bo no ñu ko tay I wear tay fofu nonu cowries and all that. And the creative outfit, bo no tamit, it was entirely beaded. So yeah.
Okay. So okay. Okay. So that outfit that you wore.
Yeah. The white one or the red one?
The red one.
The red one, okay.
You made that.
Yeah.
Like how?
Then you will ñokat be ñowan you like the cover of it, right?
So Mohammed will show us the outfit so that the viewers can also see that the video is there. So he will show us to see, you know, the detailing and all of that.
Yeah, we made all of that, myself and my best friend. So you know nekon fofu nonu the entire time. So from tiri sa ñew nañ ko. Then them jina der from the market. So you can say you nekk di wër ci bi dëkk du uti I horn I petaw. If you don't know what we are doing, think of what is this boy up to?
So you mean you made this?
Yes.
This outfit.
We did.
With the detailing and all that.
We did.
What were you trying to tell?
So we were
journalists were like, what are you trying to tell here?
We were showcasing the cereal culture, right?
Cereal.
Yes. So this one we were going for salmon Faye. So kogisi from the
mane alburi njay.
I tried to make it as deep as possible because culturally in history, we're very deeply rooted people. Yes. Right? Exactly. Yeah. So that's what we were trying to showcase. Situi, Deri, Tiri, and all that. Come purwaned Jimadal.
Oh, wow. Yeah. This is... But it took you... How long does it... So it means in order... now I understand why you were the winner. Because it takes a lot... Gaduro, joge fofu nono defa liye. It's a lot.
Creative outfit bu nekon fofu non tamit moy the white one with the beads.
Yeah.
But non tamit took a lot of time because I created when you create something that would remind you of something in the Gambia, something important. So I chose the River Gambia as a means of transport for slaves around the time, right? So made an outfit boham it was entirely made of beads, but then there was a tree representing Nyunyip.
Yeah.
Then the roots, which was literally dipped inside of the river itself. So and then I had two people hung on the tree, like showing lynching around the time of slavery.
Yeah.
And then the blue on it for the... So it was just a lot of symbolism. Everything was entirely made by us.
Mashallah.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Gambia, if anyone wants to participate for the, is it a yearly event?
Yeah, every year. For the most part, every year.
Every year, then yeah. So, if you want to participate, what are some of the criteria?
First, you have to have something that you're advocating for. Because you're not just on the stage for show, right?
Okay.
You're telling people that this is a problem in the country, and I believe we need to do certain things to be able to, help in this regard. So there are people that advocate for gender-based violence. There are people that advocate for female genital mutilation and cutting. There are people that advocate for a lot of stuff, sex trafficking, a lot of things. So whatever it is that you feel like you have a passion for, something that you're driven by. You can come and you would use the platform to reach us. Many people, for the most part, it's the youth that you're even talking to. So better audience, right? So you can sell that. If you have one and it's genuine, you can literally be on the stage. That's one. Two, you have to be very outspoken too, because you're talking to people. So your public speaking skills should be honed, right? And thirdly, confidence.
Confidence.
Right.
Okay. So, some you'd say, trust Nal, and I trust them. I know they can do it. But with all these things, this requires a lot of money.
It requires a lot of money. Because just put dinner dairy hard, come there you need. It's a problem. And beads are also really expensive. Paint is expensive. So I'm the investment, right? But the catch is, at the end of the show, there's a cash prize and there's winners go home with stuff, right?
Okay.
Right? So for example, in previous years, I'm the hamne promise on land. I'm the hamne the cash prize is like 300,000 for let's say Miss Gambia. You see, I'm the halis.
Yeah, I'm not.
You get?
Yeah.
So you compete, you do what you're supposed to, and then win fair and square.
Yeah.
You can go home with cash prizes. So that's what I think that's what drives for most people. Bena, because you want to advocate for your platform.
Yeah.
Two, halis tam neex na de.
Yeah, neex na. Te Abdoul Karim yow nag ku bëgg a halis.
Yaa ngi ko gis.
So léegi win nga, you're the winner of Mr. Gambia 2026.
Right.
Abdoul Karim nag lan nga am ndaw yi.
So this is the lo mo nekk the discouraging part in this in a bit, right? Because definitely an event. Like I said, there was a lot of preparation that went into it. Dem na BMJ, ñu ngi war na am man war na win moto.
Moto?
Yeah.
You get one of Gambia'S youngest
car owner. War na win moto, travel opportunities. The other winners, benen jigen bi ko ran for na win moto, and then am nañu war na win halis and all of that. But unfortunately, we still haven't gotten it.
And when was this?
And it's been almost 3 months now.
3 months?
Honestly. Yeah. So it's really, really disheartening because, like I mentioned, a whole month of rehearsals, a lot of investment, right? Because I took from my time, I could have been drawing and making money, but instead I invest a lot of all those stuff. And I'm sure other people made a lot of sacrifices as well. Now them gonna compete on stage and you won fair and square, right? So I think it's something that is really unfair.
It
honestly,
is, yeah. People like you can represent Gambia at the international stage.
You see?
Yeah.
Lost opportunity.
Lost opportunity, exactly. Namagis Asmes, is it in Nigeria? That fashion label, it was so creative. It was beautiful. So nice. I was like, Gambia, munna something better.
Well, inshallah,
because
I think with better leadership,
we
should be able to get there. Because it's thing we have a lot of youth that are very passionate about this. Pageantry, fashion, nobody knows But then when things like this happen, where at the end of the day you feel like you were exploited or you were used for gains, that's what I'm going to discourage. Because at this point now, if anybody, because the things I'm talking about is all over the internet.
Yeah.
So next year, if you want to go in for pageantry or any of those stuff,
it will be difficult
you would be discouraged.
Yeah,
so it just causes more problems.
We ought to do better because our culture is so diverse.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Civil Service University, was it last week? They had this cultural diplomacy, and then you see all these, different cultures, the Jola culture, the cereals, the Wolofs with the Alburijai. The Wolofs took force because of the Alburijai. I told them that wherever Alburijai, we are giants. So there is no way we are going to take last. No way. So it was so beautiful. Hamga Lee can sell Gambia. It can sell Destination Gambia to the next level. It can really boost our tourism industry. So these are some of the things that we should really invest on as a people, as a country, as a state, as a government, especially young people. So now finally, time is just 2 minutes. It's unfortunate. What do you have? What is next? What are we expecting from Dr. Abdoul Karim Faye?
So I'm working on an exhibition.
Exhibition, okay.
These artworks, right? Okay. So I'll be working on an exhibition, inshallah. That's one. Okay. Two, these are available for commissions. I make T-shirts, hoodies, and all of those things.
Okay. That's not the only thing. T-shirts and hoodies.
One more.
Like Madafal hoodie.
Inshallah, I got you.
Inshallah.
I got you.
Yeah, masol ko man talk fee nag
okay.
Dr. Abdoul Karim mo kada demal ngeen patronize. Okay, so and the exhibition, when is that?
I'm working on it, but inshallah, so parerek dinalo.
Yeah.
Like I said, I like to take my time.
Dinaba, inshallah.
Yeah.
So hoodies and what again?
Hoodies, T-shirts, commissions for actual people, communities in Italy, come you in the last time. And if you have any concerns, especially with regards to reproductive health, like I said, we have a podcast that we are doing. It's on YouTube. It's on the Daily Dose Plus.
What is the name of the podcast?
The Daily Dose Plus.
Daily Dose Plus.
Yeah, so it's on YouTube. We are also looking for investments. Like you mentioned, these topics or these things that we talk about, they're really important. Yeah. But then it's kind of hard to drive. And there's need for a lot of investment in this regard as well.
True.
So we are doing a podcast, yes, but then there's a lot of effort and things that go into it. So we are actually looking for sponsors in that regard as well. And that would be really, really nice. Because then we can reach a lot more people and things like that.
Gambia, so please support him. He's doing a lot of things, and I feel like, people like Dr. Abdoul Karim are the people that we need in the Gambia to actually move forward and also support other people. We're talking about the issue of unemployment, and I think this is one way you can employ yourself.
Right.
Imagine going on YouTube and you're able to do this. What happens if a lot of other women or other young people out there who can also do this? It means it's going to boost the economy, and people are going to move away from office jobs to be, creating employment opportunities for themselves. So do you have any QSL number that you can give out? Anyone who wants to support, invest in your business and all that?
My business line is 310-4341. 310-4341.
310-4341.
Yeah, so you can always reach out, whether it is for medical advice, whether it is for business. Just don't be a stranger.
Don't be a stranger. Thank you very much, Dr. Abdoul Karim, for coming on the Youth Dialogue. It's really an honor to have you. Why nangulo ma sketch?
No, not a fetch. After you
Gambia, I should strike. Man, I want to sit down strike with these young people. They come here. They don't nango duro. Hell, am I ugly?
No, they did.
I'm not ugly. So this is all we have for you in this edition of the Youth Dialogue. Until we come here next week for another edition of the Youth Dialogue. Until then, it's a bye from us.